Today, we're going to talk about something that catches a lot of people off guard. Why having $1.5 million saved still might not mean you're ready to retire. Now, I know that's a big number. For years, financial media has drilled into us the idea that if you hit $1 million, you're set. And let's be clear, $1.5 million is an incredible accomplishment. It takes decades of discipline, consistency, and smart investing to get there. But after working with a lot of clients who are in this type of situation, I've learned something important. Having the money doesn't always mean having the plan. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 questions I ask new clients to help determine if they're truly ready to retire. Let's dive in, and I'll start with a recent conversation I had with someone who just had around $1.5 million and was starting to think about retirement. Let's call him Mark. Mark is 60 years old, an executive at a finance company, and hoping to retire within the next 6 to 12 months. He's done everything right. Maxed out his 401k, stayed diversified, made smart money moves during market dips, and today he has $1.5 million spread across retirement accounts, including a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA, and a taxable brokerage account. From the outside, it looks like he's nailed it. But here's the problem. Mark doesn't feel ready. He thought hitting that milestone he'd aimed for his entire career would bring confidence. Instead, he's pretty anxious. He's unsure, like something's missing, and he's not quite sure what it is. Mark came to me thinking he just needed a quick math check, but as we dug into the details, it became clear his whole financial life had been built around saving, not spending. He was great at saving money, but now that it was time to start spending his savings, he realized he had no real plan for how to actually do it. And he's far from alone. The financial industry has trained people to chase a number, but once you hit it, then what? That's when the anxiety typically kicks in. And if you're feeling something similar, scroll down to the description and click on the link to fill out the questionnaire. Once you do, I'll send back a personalized video breaking down your situation and share some actionable advice to optimize your retirement plan. So what did that gap look like for Mark? It looked like second guessing everything. How do I know this money will last 30 years? How do I actually pay myself from these accounts? What if the market crashes early in retirement? And what if I'm thinking about taxes completely wrong? That $1.5 million, which used to feel empowering, started to feel aimless, like a number without a purpose. That's when we had a real conversation. Not about investment returns or expense ratios, but about what it actually means to be retirement ready. I walked Mark through 10 key questions, but not the typical ones he was expecting. I reframed them so we can go a little bit deeper. And these aren't just questions I ask clients. They're the same ones you can ask yourself. Because real retirement planning isn't about checking a box. It's a partnership. It's about taking your vision for retirement and building a strategy to bring to life. So the first question is, instead of asking, what's your withdrawal strategy? I asked, how do we turn your savings into a steady, reliable income that supports the lifestyle you want without running out too soon or leaving too much behind? So this answers a couple things here. And we can ask, are you using a systematic withdrawal plan, a bucket strategy, something else entirely? Without structure, it's easy to overspend early or hoard unnecessarily. Your plan should reflect all of your income sources, Social Security, pensions, anything else, and work in sync with how you draw from your accounts. So the second question is, what is your tax efficient withdrawal strategy? So I asked, how do we structure your withdrawals to keep more of your money over time? Not just this year, but for the next 20 or 30 years. Which accounts are you tapping into first? Traditional IRAs? Taxable accounts? How about the Roth IRA? The sequence matters. Get it wrong, and your lifetime tax bill could be much higher than it actually needs to be. So question 3 is, instead of what's your current asset allocation, I asked, is your portfolio built for this stage of life? One that balances income, preservation, and peace of mind? Or is it still chasing growth like it did 10 years ago? You don't need to abandon growth, but your allocation should reflect where you are today, not where you were back then. So number 4, instead of asking, how will you handle a market downturn? I asked, what can we put in place now? Like bond ladders, annuities, or a cash reserve, so you're not forced to sell at a loss during a downturn. If the market drops early in retirement and you're making withdrawals, it can seriously hurt your plan. Having guardrails like this can be a huge difference. So question number 5, instead of asking, have you estimated your retirement expenses? I asked, have we built a plan that reflects not just your day-to-day groceries, golf, and travel, but the real wild cards, like rising healthcare costs, long-term care, home repairs, or anything else that just comes unexpectedly? And then we took it a little bit further. We added a margin for the unexpected, not just to cover the what-if scenarios, but to give you real peace of mind that your plan can flex without breaking, because something always comes up. A $50,000 dental bill, a collapsed roof, a call from an adult child who needs help. These are actually real conversations I've had with other clients this past year, and they aren't line items. They're real life. If you found these reframed questions helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. I try and think a little bit differently here. So number 6 is, instead of asking, how will your spending evolve over time? I asked, does your plan reflect the reality that retirement spending isn't flat? That you'll likely spend more in the early years, active, and less as life slows down. We mapped it out together, front loading for travel and big life experiences up front, and accounting for a slower pace later on. This creates a plan that feels more real, more aligned, and a little bit more flexible. So question 7, instead of what's your plan for long-term care, I asked, if something happens, whether it's needing help at home or in a facility, how are we planning for that? Are you thinking about self-insuring, buying coverage, relying on family? It's more than just a financial decision, it's a quality of life conversation. Question 8 is, instead of what are your guaranteed income sources, I asked, what income can you count on no matter what the market does? We listed Social Security, pensions, annuities, then stack those against your fixed expenses like housing, insurance, food, healthcare. Knowing your essentials are covered brings a real peace of mind, and it allows you to be a little bit more free when it comes to the fun stuff that you want to do. So number 9 is, instead of are your accounts consolidated and organized, I asked, do you know where everything is? And is it working together, or is it just scattered across different platforms with different advisors and different statements? So we found old 401ks, stray IRAs, insurance policies, and we brought order to the chaos. But it's not just what you have, it's how easily you can use it. And if something were to happen to you, does your spouse or loved ones know where your money is? So number 10 is, instead of what does a successful retirement mean to you, I ask, when you picture a great retirement, one that you'd be proud of, what does it actually look like? Is it travel, more time with grandkids, philanthropy? That vision should guide the plan, not the other way around. So if you're staring at your accounts and seeing a big number, but you still feel unsure, you're not crazy. You're just ready for the next phase of retirement planning. It's not about chasing a number anymore. It's about building a strategy. If this resonates, scroll down and fill out the questionnaire in the description. I'll personally review it and send you a video with thoughts on how to optimize your plan, just like I did for Mark. Or if you're ready for a conversation, book a time directly in my calendar. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.